Hi.
All right, I just hit the record button. We've got three top producers on the line. Twantis and I were just talking a moment ago about, I'll try to
Good
paraphrase,
morning.
Twantis, you tell me if I'm on target here, is
Okay.
it really just boils down to being able to identify when you are, how you use your time and be able to identify what um, struggles or obstacles that we face in at the course of a day-to-day business are things we can control and things we cannot
Mhm.
control, and kind of how to keep the appropriate attitude and mindset when you are kind of getting bogged down by a bunch of things you cannot control. Is that
Mhm.
a fair summary of what we were saying?
Very much so.
Okay. Um, so as we know, really the purpose of a mastermind like this is for you guys to, share your ideas and share your experiences and how you've successfully
Okay.
overcome challenges like this, and also, of course, to share your struggles, right? And allow me to kind of be a facilitator and help ask the right questions. So, um, one of the things that I would say, I'll start off the discussion, and then you guys feel free to chime in. Um, there I know this sounds crazy. um the first two things that come into my mind to deal with those items are,
Mhm.
number one is you have to have an awesome team in place, right? So
Mhm.
you basically have a relationship with, you know basically every type of vendor that you might need to overcome obstacles quickly. So for example, you have connections with CPAs, closing attorneys, title searchers, appraisers, all the different types of home vendors, right? Oh, we got a last minute termite issue. No one knew about it. It's out of our control. No problem. Steve, go knock that out, please. Right. You're my termite guy. Just send me the bill. Right. So you have a big team that is really strong and works really well together. So all the problems that cause what sometimes appear to be big issues can be quickly eliminated or reduced fast, right? That's one topic. And I know we're all in the process of building that type of network. The other thing I would say is a lot of times you don't know about these things until they show up right in your face. But of course, the other thing is knowing, is kind of always top grading your database, right? So we've said before, if I've got one client, and certainly that's not the case with any of us, but if we've got one client and the person is rude and doesn't listen and they're a bigot and they don't respect your advice and all these things, then that's your guy, right? But if you have 50 clients, you don't put up with that, right? And you say, hey, we're not going to be a match, and you don't think twice about it, right? And so
Mhm.
when you get into a situation with a client, it's like the more baggage that client has, the more headache that transaction is going to be. When you have lots of leads, you're less likely to look at that as an opportunity. When you have not as many leads, then you're like, oh, Dahlonega, I think I can figure that out, right? Valdosta, okay, maybe I'll swing by Florida, right? But if you're busy, you're like Valdosta, and you're like, dude, you got the wrong number. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So what are
Right.
you guys hearing?
Literally everything is starting for me. What I'm hearing from you, it's literally just consistently just keeping our pipeline so full to where we really don't have time to focus on the minute. We always are just going after, like, how could I serve everybody on a daily basis, but it's always a surplus of supply, and it's not running out from one situation, two situations that seem like they're going left. As the team builds, that just emphasizes the more that we would have to accommodate what we want as far as business and clients.
That's a very good way of saying it, because as more pressure, as the business builds, which is the wording you used, there's
Hmm.
more, everything is pushed, you get a little bit more pressure in all areas of your business. And when you get a little bit more pressure and you find yourself doing too much administrative work, that's a clue that you need somebody to handle the administrative work, right? And when you get pushed to start doing things that you don't enjoy or you don't have the right resources to do or something like that, then it reminds you that, hey, I need to expand my skill set here, or I need to expand my networks because they have the expanded skill set. I don't know if this is a good example, but this just popped in my mind. Like, there are no like, I suppose there are, but they're not like, you know, wildly successful. Is there's no like restaurants, so to speak, right? Like, if there, you don't like go into a restaurant unless it's like a buffet or something and get like a Mexican food appetizer and a Japanese food entree and like an American food, dessert or something. You go to a Mexican restaurant because you want Mexican food, right? Or you go to a Chinese restaurant because you want Chinese food. And if you go into the Chinese restaurant and say, I'd like some fajitas, they're like, dude, this is a Chinese restaurant. What are you talking about? Right? Like, we're trying to service everybody there is in all price ranges. Oh, investor, non-investor, multifamily, commercial. I want to lease this. I want to go to Dahlonega. I need to go to Clarksville. I need to go to West Cobb, and you're all over the place. And my thought is if you would just focus in your turf, you'd be better off, right? When I first got my license, I was going anywhere probably about 40 to 45 miles in any direction, right? So I was on the way to North Cumming, and I was on the way to Stone Mountain, and I was hanging out in like the edge of Douglasville. And as I got more and more successful, I started to narrow that down. I said, Lawrenceville, what side of Lawrenceville, right? Ooh, Tucker? Is it the east side of Tucker or the west side of Tucker? Because the west side of Tucker, I'll probably do. The east side of Tucker is a little too much traffic for me. You see what I'm saying? And my
Mhm.
field, I was like, North Forsyth, I don't do North Forsyth. Central Forsyth, stop doing that in 2017. You see what I'm saying? And
Yep.
I got closer and closer because time was becoming more important than money for me at that moment, right? It always changes. You, Alicia and Ty, don't chime in now.
Oh,
I
no,
totally agree.
look, I'm taking it all in. I'm listening. And I know she is too. Although keep your eyes on the road. So, I mean, but we've had this conversation before, and I mean, it's spot on. There's really nothing to even add because there's going to come a time where, because I've talked to a couple like new agents just got their license yesterday, and they're like, I'll take business anywhere, and you can do that, or you can establish, your boundaries and your perimeters right now and kind of zone in. But
Yeah.
I mean, but just like you said, when the bills come in, you're kind of like, okay, maybe I should have taken that east to Tucker or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Look, I'm
I
speaking
have
from
a
a place of privilege.
Yeah,
I,
exactly. Like I said, I'm
I
not there.
understand that, but
yeah, I'm totally of a different mindset. Like I'll go at least an hour range. And I think because there's a part of me that's still really, I feel like I'm still building, like I'm still starting over to
oh
some
yeah,
extent. You know what I mean? So I'm still working on really getting um my database up to where I want it to be, where I'm at that point, like you said, where I don't have to go too far outside of, either Cobb, or I can stay in the area where I really want to work. So what
I
I
mean, an
tend to
hour is
do
still
is,
a. I mean, there's millions of homes within an
right,
hour of where you are. I mean, an hour is still a pretty healthy. I mean, it in some respects it's a healthy distance, and in some respects it's still a pretty tight,
type.
range. So my suggestion is don't cut it to 30 minutes today. My suggestion is let's get really, really clear on how we qualify our people, and the
Mm-hmm.
Right.
location that they decide to purchase or sell in is just one of the qualification factors. Another qualification factor is, are you nice? Right? Another
I think
qualification
sometimes
factor is,
obviously too
do I
nice.
enjoy spending time with you? Right? When I
You mean
see
is
that
the
you're
buyer nice? The person you're
anyone,
working with? Okay.
I mean, the good news is most of the time, if you get a crappy seller, the home will be under contract in a day or two anyway, so it doesn't make a difference. But particularly,
That's a good point.
particularly, I'm talking about buyers, right? But if, for example, when I see their number calling, and I look at that and I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign, right? it's not a good sign. Let's really understand that. Let's say to ourselves, we have agreed to work with somebody that doesn't give us any fulfillment. What does that say about us?
Hmm. Now, I, on the other hand, I've decided to. I am going to get very specific about my areas and my boundaries.
Okay.
Because I mean, I've done it all. I've done an hour, I've done 2, I've done 3, I've done, chaos, chaos, chaos. And I'm over that. Like, this is my second go round, and this is my final go round. So this one's got to work.
This one will
So,
work.
yeah, it's going to work, correct. It's taking a little longer than I want it to, but of course, I'm sure everybody can say the same with that.
Yeah.
But I'm being very specific. And if I travel out of those boundaries, it's definitely have to be at a certain price point. It has to be certain parameters in place that are going to be more than beneficial than their average. Then I say what averagely, if that's a word, beneficially. That neither one of those are words, but y'all know what I mean.
I think they're words.
Right.
Beneficially is a word.
Right.
Yeah.
So we have that. I told you my problem, my issue is just, which I know the answer is, just continue to practice on the scripts and have a script partner. I'm just not getting the conversion. I'm not getting in the house. I mean, and I had to be real honest with myself in order to fix that. So I can fix that. I'm just not getting in the house.
So how have you fixed that? I mean, you're not going to fix it in 3 days, but how are you making progress towards that challenge right now?
Well, I'm studying the scripts more because, and I'm actually trying to I have so many scripts because I even stepped out of Keller Williams. I have a gazette, the Pivot scripts, the Sister scripts, the Tom Ferry, Nicole Briggs.
Yeah, you got a lot. That's good.
Michael Fair. Yeah, I literally have scripts on top of scripts on top of scripts. And every time I hear a good idea, and then I listen to you, and then I listen to Aubrey, like some of the things he was saying at the team meeting, I was like, that is amazing. So, like,
Well, now
it's
you
time
just
to
got
just
to
get
use
my
them.
own.
Spend the time now making the calls and saying the script rather than looking for more scripts.
No, yeah, no, that the script research is shut down because I can't do it anymore.
You got all the scripts you need. Now you just got to work them. So,
right.
So today, like today's Bold 100, right? So if you sit in your office and you say, today I'm going to make more contacts than I'm used to making by a large margin, and today I ain't leaving my desk till I set an appointment or some other goal of that, caliber, and say, look, this script is a script because it worked, right? Somebody said, let me write down some of these ideas. I wonder if this is a script. Let me try it. Then they tried it and they got good enough results. And then it became one of 1,000 different scripts that KW or some other coach came up with. And then it's like, those are like the Hall of Fame scripts. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that they publish, those are the ones that really work. You just got to say them. Right. So no more script research. Now today we're just saying.
Okay.
Can I just say one of the things that I do, because I'm okay with getting on the phones, is I practice professionally while I'm talking on the phone. And the reason being is that I don't look for perfection. So I'll take the script, I'll have it in front of me. And when the person's answering the phone, I just go through the questions. But I'm also actively listening to what they say so that I'll know what part of the script I have to say. And I don't know if that makes sense, but it helped me a lot because I made so many mistakes in the beginning. I would get off the phone and be like, damn, I messed that up completely, because when you messed up. But I would still get back on the phone. And then I would memorize like one script. I'd pick one script. If I was going to work with expired, I'd pick the expired script. I'd memorize it till I knew it down pat. Then I'd get on the phone with my expires and try to go through the list. Now, initially, I was doing it remote. I was just like reading one answer, reading the next answer, reading the next question, not even listening to what the expired seller was saying. And then I had to learn how to take what I learned, because now I've memorized it, and then know when to interject and ask the right questions, because now I have it all memorized. I know where I can interject to ask the right questions. So when are you planning on moving? What's your motivation for wanting to move there? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, family, those questions that you start to learn. But so I would say, if you try to just get one script down and then concentrate on that, it might help. It might help It helped me. And then don't worry about making mistakes because they don't know you're making mistakes. Only you
They
do.
don't
So
exactly. They don't have the
they
script.
they don't have the script, so they don't know when you're making mistakes. Now, when you get off the phone, yeah, you kind of will. I know for me personally, when I got off the phone, I would beat myself up like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I made that mistake." But I eventually got better. So I'd say just keep practicing.
I appreciate
Yeah,
you sharing
you're
that.
right.
One thing I would add to that is um,
Right
the
foot.
reason why you're able to listen better, and instead of um, basically just thinking about what you're going to say next, is because you've rehearsed the script so many times in your head that you're not you're not worried about saying it wrong. You're just it just is natural conversation. And there's only like we only say a couple of things. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Hey, sounds like we should meet. Tell me more about that. Why is that important to you? Sounds like we should meet. Oh, that's an awesome goal. Tell me more about that. Sounds like we should meet. Gosh, sounds like we should meet. You see what I'm saying? Once you I mean, we only say like literally like 3 or 4 lines. I just gave them all to you, right? Because the purpose of the phone
Mhm.
call is to get the appointment. The purpose of the phone call is not to convince them to sign paperwork electronically via the phone before you ever
My
meet.
overalls. Yay, my
Right? So the idea is to say, wow, you need to buy a home. Interestingly enough, I'm a realtor. Sounds like we should meet, right? I mean, is it's not much
Yeah.
more than that. I know that sounds like really super simple, but the idea is that you're on the phone with them because they have a need, and you can solve that problem. You can service that need. So the quicker you can identify, you can help them understand that their problem is something you enjoy fixing, then of course you should meet. It's just the natural next step, right? It's
Right.
not looking at it and saying, um, hey, we got, I'm trying to mislead you or something like that. It's, hey, you've told me you got an issue. I know how to solve the issue. In fact, I got all the tools and resources and tech and support and scripts and coaching and yada, yada. So it seems logical that we would just connect and I can help you with this, right? If they're a for sale by owner or an expired listing, they have a home they don't want anymore. Hey,
Exactly.
if I could show you in 15 to 20 minutes how I can net more money, help you net more money, would you take my call? Would you meet with me? No, I'm not interested in making any more money. So the amount of money that you take to the closing table is not important to you. Tell me a little bit about what is important to you, right?
Okay, that's where I run into um, the issue of pushing past the basic answers. Like if somebody says, "No, I'm not interested."
Okay, give me an example. Let's role play one, Ty.
um, okay, well, just one real simple one. Fizzbos.
Okay.
Are you happy? Yes, great. But the response was, "This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't our first rodeo. We've sold homes before. We're
Okay.
and we're moving out of state, so I can't even use the. I guess there's nothing I can do there, huh? Well,
No,
maybe
oh,
not.
no, hold on. Sure
Okay, I
there is.
know. As soon as I said that, I was like, he's gonna fuss. Okay,
Hey, I'm not going to fuss. I'm going to
no,
remind
I'm
you
joking.
there's an financial opportunity for you.
Okay, that's even better.
Okay, so you're moving out of town and your home's been on the market. I appreciate you sharing that with me or sharing that with me. Tell me, how long has the home been on the market, Ty? How long have you been trying to sell it?
It's been a few days.
A few
Like,
days, okay.
mhm,
So you sold homes in the past and you want to try it again, is
mhm.
that right?
Yeah, yes, that's correct.
Awesome, awesome. So one question, how did you ultimately settle on the price that you're marketing the home for?
Mhm. Um, I did my research, Zillow and some different things, and we decided to go with that price.
Okay, so you did some research in Zillow, and that's how you picked the 300 price. Okay.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about your activity so far. Have you had some showings? Have you had any offers yet?
No offers. It's only been a couple of days. We've had some agents come by saying they have buyers. They would like to preview the home. And then I've had some phone calls of potential buyers saying they would like to take a look at the house as well.
Okay, and you just haven't let them in the house yet? You haven't been able to settle on an appointment time?
Right.
Okay. Okay. So let me mention this to you, Ty. You know, I respect the fact that you have a desire to sell your home yourself. I know, like you said, you've been successful doing it in other areas, and I totally get that. The only thing I would share with you is I'm a local real estate agent. I love helping sellers and I love helping buyers. And I just want to let you know there's a lot of information out there and there's a lot of misinformation out there. And what I would love to do, I love helping people like you. So if it's okay with you, I just want to check in maybe once a week or so and see how things are going. Make myself available if there's anything that I can do to
Where's
help
my
you.
wallet?
If you have a small question or you need a recommendation to a vendor or something like that, I want you to think of me when you think of that issue. Is that fair?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Okay, wonderful. I'll call you next Monday. Okay.
Okay,
So what
thanks.
we've done here is, look, she's not in pain. She's not in pain. So if she's not in pain, I can't make the pain worse, right? She's on cloud nine right now. Everyone in the world's calling her, and she's about to prove to herself potentially she can sell the home without the use of an agent. So I got nothing to make more painful. So now I need her to experience some pain. So she's going to have to go
Mm,
and have one of these buyers, set up an appointment and then not show up, or an agent set an appointment and not show up, or somebody that sees the home and then she has to chase them down for 3 days for feedback. She needs to feel like a realtor for a couple of days. Then she's going to be like, "What have I signed up for?" You see what I'm saying?
mm.
The other thing is we know with for sale by owners specifically that they will ultimately hire an agent, or the agent that they ultimately hire is going to be the one that was the most persistent and the most helpful, right? So your
Okay.
job is to become the agent that is the most persistent and helpful. Let's go persistence first. Persistence is calling them systematically. "Hey, it's Monday. It's Bill Linkwald, Keller Williams. Just checking in with you. Is that home still available?" "Yes, it is." "Okay, great. How many offers did you get this week?" "No offers." "Ah, no offers. Okay, okay. How many showings did you ultimately have?" "We had 4 showings." "4? That's great. That's great. How many of those were buyers and how many of those were real estate agents?" "Well, all 4 were real estate agents." "Okay, so all week and no ready, willing, and able buyers came to the property. Is that correct?" Making it a little painful, stirring the pot a little bit, right? "Nope, that's right, Bill. No showings." "Wonderful. Like I said last week, I want to help you. So what's the most important thing I can do to help you today?" I didn't say, let me come list the home. I didn't bullshit them and say I got a buyer when I don't have a buyer, excuse me, right?
Yeah, I don't do that.
What I
I
said,
loathe that.
what I said is, I want to help you. So what is it that you want help with? And if she says, "I need a termite company," say, "Great, I'll introduce you to a termite company right now." And then say, "Anything else?" "No, we're all good." "Cool, call you Monday," right? Now, I'm being friendly and I'm bringing value. So I'm being consistent and I'm being pleasant and I'm helping them. And they will break because being a real estate agent is tough, especially when you're
Okay.
another something too, when you're when you've got another full-time job. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, the first time that person sits in traffic on the way from home and the buyer who isn't really qualified in the first place flakes on them, they're going to freak out. And the person they're
Mm-hmm.
going to call when they freak out is you. Say, "I'm tired of this crap. Come list me."
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
So you don't have to eat them alive on the first call. You just got to be the one that's the most persistent and the most helpful.
And that's what it is. That was my aha moment. Because I'm quick. Like, okay, next, next, next.
Yep.
And it's the
Keep
long game,
asking
which
the
you said
question.
on several occasions.
All right, I'm gonna stop on the growth